Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with our fantasy expert, Tyler Wiemann, and it was a great weekend. Did you have a nice Mother's Day? Celebrated all the moms out there.
Absolutely.
Great weekend. And today is also a holiday because Nestor Cortez is on the mound. So it is Nasty Nestor Day.
Nasty Nestor
And I'm
Day.
celebrating in the best possible way. I finally got my Nestor Cortez shirt in. We've got the reveal. We've got Nasty Nestor. The Nasty Nestor shirt.
Little Super Mario Nestor.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty
Kind
Nestor.
of like a Luigi.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, don't worry.
Let's do
You
it.
like it? I got you one, too.
Oh, boy.
Co-host never,
Nasty
we got to be both
I like
Nasty
it.
Nestor.
I like it.
So he is pitching, unfortunately,
Right
he's not
now.
one of the ones on our slate for the main slate because
Yeah.
he's pitching right now as we speak.
He's pitching a great game so far, too.
So hopefully it brings him good vibes and we'll wear these shirts again. We can match. It'll be
We
really
can.
cute,
It'll
very
be great.
adorable.
I'm ready.
All right, so let's go to our pitchers that are playing later tonight in our main slate of daily fantasy. And we're going to talk about the highest owned pitchers. And of course, we've got to talk about Julio Urias going up against the Pirates tonight. He has a sub-2 ERA, hasn't allowed more than one earned run since his first start a month ago. And today, facing a Pirates team that's pretty much in the bottom 10 in most batting categories. So is that why that's the big attraction here?
Yeah, it's against Pittsburgh. He's also probably a little underpriced. The one thing is, though, there may not be the K upside there is with some other pitchers today. Pittsburgh's only striking out at 21.7%. Urias strikeout rate this year is only 19%. Over the last 20, though, he is at 24%, though. So he could have more K upside to come. The other thing I'd like to talk about is just he's only had 81 pitches as far as his max for a single start. So far this season. So
Does that concern you, or do you think he can go further and therefore produce more strikeouts?
I think he could go a little bit further, but I don't think it's going to be that much further.
Okay.
They're obviously kind of like protecting him a little bit and watching that pitch count right now. I mean, we're far enough into the season that shouldn't be there quite yet. He should be approaching closer to 100. Dodgers are being careful with a young star.
So given that he is kind of lower priced, would you buy in on him today?
Yes, it's solid matchup. He's underpriced. I'll definitely have a little bit. I won't go overboard with him, though.
All right. Will you go overboard for San Francisco Giants lefty Carlos Rodon going up against the Rockies? 43% owned, both on DraftKings and FanDuel. This is a guy with a top 5 ERA, a top 10 strikeout rate. In the last outing against the Dodgers, though, he did give up 2 earned runs, just 3 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. How do you like his matchup today against the Rockies?
Rockies have actually been pretty good against lefties. They're only striking out 17% of the time. They have the 5th highest WRC plus versus lefties. But Rodon is one of the best pitchers in the game.
Sure.
1.5 FIP, ERA is right around there, striking out 37% of the batters. So I like him. There's a super low 2.6 implied total. The other thing is that it is Colorado away from Colorado.
Right.
And there is a huge discrepancy as far as how they hit.
Exactly.
Once they leave Colorado.
Looking at the Rockies batting stats, you always have to keep that in consideration. Yeah. It's almost
little
like the Coors effect.
Yeah, there's this Coors slump boost once you leave.
All right. So do you like Rodon? Would you pay for that in your lineup?
He would be my favorite high-priced pitcher today for sure.
All right. How about Angels righty Noah Syndergaard? Thor's going up against the Rays today. He's 30% owned on DraftKings, 21% on FanDuel. 2.63 ERA. He's 2-1 on the season. Last time out, 3 earned runs on 8 hits. He did give up a home run, 3 strikeouts in the loss to the Red Sox. Now, his strikeouts are down a little bit from what we've been used to seeing him just be a strikeout machine, basically.
Big time. He hasn't had the quite the same Thor hammer.
Although I feel like we could see it any day now. He could just start to dial it up.
I mean, he's been good this season, but 26% is his career strikeout average. He's currently at like 14%, 14.6%. So either he's lost a little bit after being gone for 2 years with injury, or he just hasn't caught up yet. And that strikeout rate probably comes up. I would say it's most likely a little bit in the middle.
Sure.
I don't know if we're going to see that 26% again, but low 20s, I would say we probably get there.
All right. So would you pay for Noah Syndergaard?
Syndergaard
going up against the Rays. Do we like that matchup against the Rays?
He's another one that's probably a little too cheap for who where he is.
Sure.
The one thing is the Rays do strike out a lot versus righties. They have the 5th highest strikeout rate, but they also hit righties well, and they have the 6th highest WRC plus. So I would say it's a little more of a boom bust kind of pick. If Syndergaard can find his strikeout stuff, he'll probably do really well. If he stays at that 14%, might be, not quite the upside you want at a high-owned spot.
Big fan of Noah Syndergaard. Covered him in the minor leagues.
Oh, yeah.
At the Binghamton Mets in my
nice.
first job. So it was fun to see all those Mets guys, but super nice guy. And so always rooting for him. Was probably one of the few Mets that I root for, being a Yankees fan. So that's saying something at the time. Of course, now with the Angels. But we love the Angels, right? We got Trout, Shohei, Noah now. All right.
Nothing not to like about him.
So let's talk about our low-owned pitchers for today. And the first guy we're going to talk about is Brandon Woodruff, the Brewers righty going up against the Reds. Of course, anytime we see anybody pitching against the Reds, that matchup is a little bit appealing to us. No offense, Reds fans out there. So Woodruff's ERA, he's got a ERA over 5, but he's coming off a game where he absolutely mowed down the Reds last Tuesday, 12 strikeouts. And I feel like he might be a very underrated pitcher, especially when you're looking at the Brewers, and he's just been really good. I also saw he's kind of leveled up his changeup. And I mean, that's a common thing throughout pitchers that we've seen this year, is just using secondary pitches a lot, but he's just really been a great pitcher.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's a super good pitcher, 30% strikeout rate. The other thing is there's the pitcher flow chart that we can go by this season. Who's playing Cincinnati, play that pitcher. Pretty much. Woodruff has a 2.94 FIP. His ERA is kind of high, but I wouldn't really worry about that. His FIP over the last 20 starts is 3.2. So he's right about there. And then Cincinnati's striking out second highest at 26.4%. So I'm love the upside. I'm surprised
he's not higher owned.
Exactly. I am too. The upside here is higher than pretty much everybody else on this slate.
I mean, he struck these guys at 12 strikeouts last time he faced them. And, you see, I think maybe people are scared away of the ERA over 5. Maybe that's
ERA
just
over
throwing
5.
people off.
I mean, he had 2 bad games where he had a little bit of command issues. He got let some runs, but like the other 3 starts have been great.
Just awesome.
There's no reason to worry about him.
All right. How about Mackenzie Gore, Padres lefty going up against the Cubs? He's about 14% owned on DraftKings, 20% on FanDuel. He got a sub-2 ERA, last time out 4 hits, 1 earned run. He did have 3 walks, 2 strikeouts in 5 2/3 versus the Guardians, where he kind of struggled a bit with control, but there is a lot to like about Gore. What do you like about him today in fantasy?
There is a lot to like about him. He is on DraftKings maybe priced a little high, why his ownership is lower there, but 1.71 ERA, 2.2 FIP, 26% K rate. All of those are really good metrics. The Cubs are average on offense versus righties, and they're striking out 22%. So all in all, I think he's in a decent spot. I like him as a pitcher, and I wouldn't shy away from him too much.
Nice. Would you shy away from Paul Blackburn going up against the Tigers today? 2.22 ERA last time out against the Rays, 3 earned runs and 6 hits, including a home run. He did have 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and 4 1/3. Now, he's a guy I couldn't quite figure out when I was looking at some of his outings. He is showing promise. What do you make of what he's been doing this season and how he fits into the slate today?
Yeah, for this one, I was trying to go through and just find somebody that is a little cheaper that we could pivot off, like the Urias or Syndergaard kind of pick. So he is the exact opposite situation as Syndergaard. For his career, he's been like 14% strikeout rate, but this season he's showing at 25%. Now he has retooled some pitches. He's been working with different pitcher coaches. So a lot of that could be real. Maybe not 25, maybe 23, 22, something like that. But he's been pitching really well. Like you said, low ERA. His FIP is also super low.
Yeah.
And he's versus Detroit. So Detroit is second worst in WRC plus. They're bottom 5 in almost every advanced hitting stat. And they're striking out 25% of the time versus righties. So he's cheap, he's unowned, and I see some upside here.
So a little bit risky, but yeah, like you said, the upside would be awesome.
Yeah, he's absolutely a little risky. We don't really know if he's the pitcher of the past or he's the new guy this year. And I'm willing to take some swings there.
I guess we'll find out today.
Yeah, we will.
We're willing to take some swings today.
Yeah.
How about with our high-owned stacks of the day? We'll first take a look at the Dodgers going up against the Pirates. It's going to be the lefty Jose Quintana for the Pirates. He's got a 3.38 ERA. However, when I was looking at his numbers this season, the only top 10 offense he's faced has been the Nationals, and he gave up 3 runs in 4 innings pitched against them. So is this a situation where maybe his ERA going up against a team like the Dodgers might be...
Yeah, and the Dodgers have one of the highest implied totals on the slate. So with that, a lot of ownership usually follows. Quintana is okay. He's not bad. He's not great. But the Dodgers have been average versus lefties too. So it's not like the Dodgers are this great offense against lefties. However, the BVP data looks great for the Dodgers.
Okay.
In 109 plate attempts, they're hitting 298, have 4 home runs, and a 213 ISO. So I would say that combined with the implied total is why everybody's going there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you think this is an overrated stack today?
With hitting, being the fact that like a Hall of Famer, like they 30% of the time they succeed, and that makes them be a Hall of Famer. With hitting, like it's just so volatile that I rarely am going to follow ownership, especially with a higher owned stack with a pitcher that has been okay. In this situation, I'm probably going to avoid the Dodgers a little more.
Fading the Dodgers?
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, they're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't recommend that to everybody, but it's just kind of my approach usually is not to follow the higher owned stacks.
We go our own way here on the On Deck podcast.
Yes.
Like to carve out our own path. Well, does that path include the Miami Marlins going up against the D-backs righty Humberto Castellanos? He's got a 4.12 ERA, and righties are kind of teeing off 3.08 average. What do you make of the Marlins ownership today in fantasy?
Humberto's actually been decent too.
I know.
307 FIP. Honestly, I think hitting is going to be hard to come by today. So like it's just not going to be. We have the dead balls. We have a lot of decent pitchers. Humberto's only walking 2.7 per 9.
We needed to heat up a little more in the ballpark.
Yeah, we do.
We need some temperatures to rise a little bit.
Lefties have hit him well though.
Okay.
They've hit him hard, 2.29 or 0.229 ISO, 4% home runs off him. They also have a very low strikeout rate of 12%. And Miami is 10th in WRC plus versus righty. So there are a lot of things to like.
The Marlins are not a team to sleep on.
They're not. They're kind of sneaky
They're
good.
Kind of feisty.
Yeah.
I like that spirit of that team. It's fun to watch. All right, let's take a look at some low-owned stacks and maybe find some value here. We're going with Brewers versus Reds righty Luis Castillo. Now, Castillo's making his season debut. He was activated off the 10-day injured list Now, traditionally, he's been a guy who starts really slow. April, May, worst ERAs. So what do you like about this matchup? It's a little bit of an unknown situation with what you're getting out of Castillo. But if he doesn't show up, I mean, he's going to be a little rusty, right?
Well, that is one of the things. So far in the minors, he's been walking a lot of batters. He has 8 walks in 10.1 innings. He's maxed out at 76 pitches. And he hasn't gone further than 4.1 innings in the minors. So I don't think he's going to be there very long. He's been a little wild. They're playing at Great American Small Park. So home runs are a possibility. The other thing is the Brewers have been hot. Over the last 9 games, they're averaging 7 runs versus righties. They have the second highest ISO, third highest slugging. And again, they're in the smaller park. So I like it. Castillo is a good pitcher, but he also can get blown up and has some control issue at times.
All right, let's take a look at the Mariners going up against the Phillies. It'll be lefty Ranger Suarez for them. Now, he has a 4.63 ERA and gave up 2 home runs last time out against the Rangers. Also, side note, wonder if Chris Woodward thought those home runs were in a Little League park. Did you see what he said over the weekend?
I did not.
He called, so his pitcher got lit up at the short porch.
Yeah.
And so he said Yankee Stadium was a Little League ballpark and that anywhere else it wouldn't have gone out. So
did he talk to Mr. Rizzo about that? Did he say that to Rizzo's face?
He did not say that to the king of the short porch, Rizzo, but just a little interesting side note there about the Rangers. But this isn't about the Rangers. This is about Seattle going up against Phillies lefty Ranger Suarez. Righties are just crushing Suarez. 338 opponent average. Is that kind of what you're looking at here with this matchup?
Absolutely. That and the fact that Suarez is a 5.44 FIP. He's walking 4 batters per 9, allowing 1.5 home runs per 9. And Seattle's a dangerous offense, 11th in WRC plus. If you notice, like both of my lower owned stacks today, I'm really kind of hoping the pitcher makes the mistake. There's a lot of good pitchers on the slate today, and all the run totals are really low. So I think we're going to really need to find somebody that is letting guys on base, has some command issues, and attack that today. That seems
to be Mr. Suarez.
And that seems to be Mr. Suarez, yeah.
All right. Well, certainly a lot of really good plays there. Remember, if you want to optimize your lineup, just go to LineStarApp.com. You can download the LineStar app. Basically, the hard work is done for you, so you can just check all the stats and know everything before you plug in your lineup. You got to maximize your chances of winning here, and we're just giving you the tools, all right?
And we have a big update coming this week.
Oh, big update coming. Site. That was a nice little tease there. Yeah, we do have a big update coming for you, so stay tuned for that. Now, though, it is time for our home run call of the day. Where are you headed for your home run call today, Tyler?
Well, as I have talked about, I think offense could be a little hard to come by today. But when in doubt, go Mike Trout. So we're going to Trout. He's 2 for 2 against Springs, 230 ISO, allows home runs at 5%. So we're going to follow that, and we're going to go Mike Trout.
That sounds like a great campaign slogan.
Yep.
When in doubt, Mike Trout. Well, I'm going with your other favorite guy.
I like it.
Kyle Schwarber. I think he's going yard today. Kyle Schwarber, the lefty bat, going up against the righty Chris Flexen. 6 of 7 Schwarbombs have been against righties, and he is slugging .559 against right-handed pitching. Now, Chris Flexen, not a terrible pitcher, but I just think Kyle Schwarber has the power, and he's going to have one today.
I like it.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right.
I like you're saying Schwarbomb, too. It's so much more fun to say.
It is fun to say. Love to say that. Almost as much as I like saying Nasty Nestor Cortez.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
He is.
Showing off the t-shirt here. We got a nice
this
t-shirt. There you go. Yep. There you go.
You just wear it.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to wear anything Yankees. It's okay. All right, let's talk about our prop bets for today. As you said, it was a little bit tough especially looking at the hitters. So are you going hitter or pitcher prop here?
I'm sticking with pitchers.
All right, let's hear it.
Sticking with pitchers, and we're going to Brandon Woodruff over 6.5 Ks for -122. He's done this in 5 of the last 7 matchups versus Cincinnati. On the year, he's averaging 6.2 Ks per game, and Cincinnati has the second highest strikeout rate to righties, so we're going to hit that 6.5 number.
Ooh, there you go. Keeping it with the pitchers.
Yep.
And I am going to be keeping it with the hitters. And when in doubt, I'm going Jazzy C, Jazzy Chisholm, the lefty back going up against D-backs righty Humberto Castellanos. He's going over 1.5 bases. That's at -120. And Chisholm has a 342 average versus righties. Quite simply, he crushes them. And so just like his odds today, he's done pretty well for me in the past. And just a side note, his stolen base prop today at +380, just in case you want to know that. And also, I know you guys are not afraid of long odds. I mean, after this weekend in the Kentucky Derby, you got to take some chances after an 80-1 odds horse. Rich Strike wins the Kentucky Derby. So you know what? I'm going to give you another stolen base prop.
Oh, whoa.
We're going with Randy Arozarena from the Tampa Bay Rays. I think he gets a stolen base today. Noah Syndergaard actually has the most stolen bases against him this year of any pitcher. Randy Arozarena, he's got some wheels, man.
He does.
He could do it.
He
Plus
does.
390. We're taking chances today because of this weekend.
You're getting wild.
Let's get wild.
Like
All right. Now, just taking a look at some weather conditions before we go. No significant weather, just a few wind conditions to take note of, though. Wind blowing in from left at Comerica Park in Detroit at about 10 miles an hour. So just keep that in mind, but not like last week where we had like so many rainouts. So it's nice to see sunshine, clear skies, nasty Nestor on the mound. It's a good day. All right, be sure to download the LineStar app and visit our website, linestarapp.com, which we will have some updates later this week. So stay tuned for that. Follow us on social media. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to hit the like and subscribe so you can see all our crazy videos that we're going to be coming out with and keep up to date with us there. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good one. Bye.